CaribJet, the most experienced travel agency company in Grenada, serving our clients and businesses for over 40 years. IATA accredited, we issue tickets on 280 airlines, representatives for Condor, the German airlines, and main agents for Virgin, KLM and Air France. We're specialists to the Middle East. Walk in to our ticket office at Maurice Bishop Highway, call 439-4444, WhatsApp 534-7755 or visit caribjet.com.
Promoters, here is a chance to boost your event or fete with MTV's irresistible television advertising specials. Book now and be wowed with party deals and good advertising coverage. Call our sales and marketing department on 440-8171 or via WhatsApp on 455-718. You can also send an email at mtvmarketinggd@gmail.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello and welcome to the MTV Evening News for Wednesday, the 12th of April. The news headlines come to you in association with Courts Grenada Limited.
Happiness is when cooking isn't a chore. Bring happiness to your home. Get up to 30% off on selected items. Get it now, pay later. Whatever your happiness is, we can help. Court, bringing value home. Offer ends April 30th, 2023. Conditions apply.
Welcome back. Coming up in the news this evening, St. George's resident charged with attempted arson. Several unanswered questions in relation to funding from the European Union for several restoration projects, including the restoration of the landmark Roman Catholic Church in Grenville, St. Andrew. Two-day capacity development forum for CARIFORUM member states on cybercrime ongoing in Grenada. And in sport, Kelsey Muriel Ross earns indoor regional awards. We'll have details to those and other stories coming up for you, and of course the latest public forecast information. So right after the break, do stay with us.
The first segment of the MTV Evening News comes to you compliment Nexa Credit Union. With you wherever your road leads.
But when you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me, yes, I can. Whenever you're in need, yes, you can. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide, to light that shines our way. Wherever your road leads, we'll be right there with you. Wherever your road leads, we'll make your dreams come true. Next side, next side, next side, right next to you.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Good evening, I'm Tony Julian with the details. Vanny Creedland is in police custody after he was arrested on Tuesday for attempted arson. Owner of the house, Nanaya George, spoke with MTV News and thanked her neighbors for their quick response in helping to put out the blaze. George told MTV News what transpired on Tuesday and is calling on the relevant authorities to intervene. According to her, the man in question is her husband of 11 months. However, since they broke up, she's been dealing with threats.
Yesterday, I received a message via Messenger, Facebook Messenger, where I received this video with my husband trying to burn down my house. And that happened because I asked for a divorce, and he said that he will never leave me, and he's not leaving, and he will kill for me. Well, actually, I called the police. I go to the police station. When I call, they tell me I have to come in person, so I go in the police station, and the police and them, they write down their note, and then after they come and meet me home by me, and they arrest the person and lock them up. And I live at Cherry Hill on top Blogger High, St. George's. Well, today I went to get a protection order against my husband because, like, ever since me and he day, ever since I day with him, like every time he leave and he go with the train mother, like when he want to come back and I decline him, like I tell him no, I don't want to day with him. It's either he mash up my window in my house, or he try to fight with me in the street, he just doing some kind of thing to make me feel unhappy.
Wednesday morning, George collected a protection order from the St. George's Magistrates Court. According to her, while she is not afraid of Creedland, she is appealing to the Royal Grenada Police Force not to take this lightly. One man who has been charged with less than a pound of marijuana and has been going to the magistrate's court for more than a year is calling on the relevant authorities to highlight clear directives as to how law enforcement should deal with individuals with cannabis who have a medical prescription. According to him, he has a medical prescription from a doctor. However, he was still charged by the Royal Grenada Police Force for his medical prescription and is calling on the government to revamp the laws. We have more in this report.
I am a law-abiding citizen with a medical marijuana card. I have a medical reason for using cannabis. I stated that since 2012. I was finally charged, and I've been in court over almost a year now, trying to address this charge.
One man who has been back and forth with the court for more than 1 year because he was charged with a small quantity of weed is calling on the relevant authorities to explain what the RGPF can do when dealing with individuals with cannabis who have a medical prescription. However, the government has disclosed that it will be legalizing cannabis for medical purposes in the future. Aisha Williams told MTV News that he is now a criminal for using cannabis for medical purposes.
The new administration made an announcement that they're going to look to change the law for medical reasons. As far as I know, I'm the only person in Grenada with a medical card that's being charged for weed. The fact that there hasn't been any public announcement from the administration on how law enforcement should treat people like this when they encounter them, law enforcement treats everyone as a criminal that has cannabis, whether they have a legal, legitimate reason for it or not. That is causing a big problem in people's lives, like myself. So I've been in court over a year now, almost a year now, and I haven't got any judgment on this. Effectively, I am a criminal until proven innocent. I thought I was innocent until proven guilty. It's a medical prescription from a doctor giving me permission to use cannabis from California. And I was told by law enforcement here that Grenada's law does not recognize out-of-state prescription, but we recognize out-of-state gun permits and license.
Williams says his matter was adjourned until June, though he felt like he did not break the law. He's calling for more consultation with the government of Grenada on this issue.
It's been a while, and no redress. So effectively, I am guilty until I prove myself innocent. That is unfair to me. That is unfair to the system, because every time I come here, we the taxpayers, got to pay money for this. Got to pay money for the judges, the courtroom, all of that. What I would like from the administration, however, which is more important to me, is some clear directive statement publicly letting the public know what they can and can't do right now until the law is changed.
Nikita Hosten, MTV News.
Shondi Williams, a 43-year-old farmer of Bolio, appeared at the St. George's Magistrates Court on Wednesday to answer to charges of stealing. Williams did admit to police to stealing various items, including oranges, coconuts, and breadfruit from several farmlands in St. George's. He was apprehended on the 7th of April. Williams was sentenced to 12 months on 5 counts of stealing before Chief Magistrate Teddy St. Louis. There are several unanswered questions on funding of $3 million from the European Union or EU for several restoration projects on the island back in 1995. Well, according to a news article in which one of the founding members of the St. Andrews Development Organization, SADO, recounted negotiations conservation, he revealed that part of this funding was to be allocated for the restoration of the landmark Roman Catholic Church in Grenville, St. Andrew. Following the Easter morning collapse of part of the dilapidated structure, Bishop Clyde Harvey was questioned about this. However, he told the media he was unaware of what had happened with the money.
I've been trying to find out myself, right? What I was told was that funds were allocated by the European Union for this, but that the funds were used for something else. Now, the only people who can answer that are those who have the funds. The church never got any of those funds, and when we've tried to inquire, we haven't gotten anything like a satisfactory answer.
Government is doing its part to help public officers to be better able to manage their finances as they begin to roll out bi-monthly payments. Speaking about the money management sessions, which began last Thursday and continued today, was Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Finance, Mike Sylvester.
There are a lot of concerns that came out with respect to the whole issue of money management and persons feeling that because they are receiving monies a lot faster, that they are not in a position to manage those monies. And what we will do, in fact, we are rolling out this week some money management sessions with all public workers and pensioners and others who are interested in those functions. That will start on Thursday of this week. We will have a session in the morning and one in the afternoon, and then we will continue after the holiday period. In terms of the money management sessions.
Permanent Secretary Sylvester went on to share the dates of the scheduled payments.
So effective the 15th of April, as was just mentioned, the bi-monthly or twice monthly, semi-monthly payments will commence. Given that the 15th is a holiday, persons will receive their payments by the 14th of this month. So that's the first payment will be on the 14th. The 2 payment dates are the 15th and the 30th of each month going forward. Where those dates fall on a holiday or fall on a weekend, then we will pay the last working day before those dates.
Sylvester noted that financial institutions have been making the necessary preparations for their customers.
We've had extensive consultations with all key stakeholders, including and in particular the banks and credit unions who are main players in this, in that they are the ones who would initially receive the resources of the workers and pensioners. And we have been given the assurance that they are making preparations or have made preparations to basically facilitate the twice monthly payments. In our discussions with respect to how the banks and the credit unions will treat with those payments, they have indicated that they have been reaching out to their customers in terms of providing options on how they pay the mortgages.
Chartered accountants across the Caribbean will soon be gathered in Grenada for the first in-person conference of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of the Caribbean event, after being held virtually for the past 2 years. And according to a local accountant, the forum will provide an opportunity for local organizations to explore business opportunities and showcase their brand. We get more on this from Troy Gill.
Grenada will be hosting the 40th annual conference of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of the Caribbean after being held virtually for 2 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic, an event that will bring into focus the sustainability and role of the region's accounting professionals. The conference will be held from June 22nd to the 24th at Radisson Grand Beach Resort. President of the Grenada branch of the ICAEC is Dr. Aaron Logie.
During the conference, we will examine several topical areas under this year's theme of sustainable development or responsibility. Topics to be covered include climate change and the Caribbean economy, the impact of citizen by investments, environment and social governance and its relevance and application to the Caribbean, and the more technical areas impacting the profession.
He also highlighted that registration for the conference opened in February and says it is an opportunity for local businesses and organizations, including sponsorship opportunities.
This is a wonderful platform for professionals and organizations to explore business and networking opportunities and showcase their brand as hundreds of professionals from across the Caribbean are expected to converge in Grenada over the 3 days of the conference.
The ICAC, which was established in 1988, consists of a network of over 4,000 accounting professionals across the Caribbean region. For MTV News, Troy Gill.
That's the first segment of the news. Just before we take a commercial break, just let you know MTV will change the airing of its television news tomorrow, Thursday, the 13th of April. This will be to facilitate a press conference broadcast featuring His Majesty's opposition, the Honorable Keith Mitchell. As a result, the MTV News will be aired at 7 o'clock on Thursday evening only. Following the broadcast, the nightly obituaries will be aired. MTV apologizes for any inconvenience caused due to the program change. Just remember that the news for tomorrow evening to facilitate that broadcast will be from 7 o'clock, again tomorrow, Thursday only. Following the broadcast, the nightly obituaries will also be aired. This is the MTV Evening News for Wednesday. We'll have more when we return after the break.
The first segment of the MTV Evening News came to you in association with Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
When you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me, yes, I can. Whenever you're in need, yes, you can. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever your road leads, we'll be right there with you. Wherever your road leads, we'll make your dreams come true.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
With just $2, you can gift yourself with a chance to win the Lotto jackpot. Now, imagine winning the National Lotteries Authority jackpot of $62,000. Why pass upon this winning opportunity? Lotto, play and win a lot of money.
When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on LaCroix Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment. As you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest, visit or call LaCroix Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. LaCroix Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
A home should always be safe for you and your children. So remember to have your electrician check your wiring every 5 years and keep cords and wires out of the reach of children.
We even added circuit interrupters in the bathroom and kitchen and any place where water and electricity are close.
Remember, children, never touch electrical cords and wires and never put objects into sockets.
Grenlink, energizing our Grenada.
The second segment of MTV News is brought to you in association with the Communal Cooperative Credit Union Limited. To grow with us, save with us.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
for your education,
for your financial freedom,
for that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell used the opportunity to speak briefly on the Data Protection Bill, calling on the private sector to do their part as well.
Businesses must invest in cybersecurity training and technology, conduct regular audits and assessments of their networks, and implement strict security protocols to prevent data breaches and cyber attacks. And while I speak of private businesses, the government is similarly tasked with ensuring that it does the same thing. And I think we have both a moral and legal responsibility to lead in that regard, first and foremost in protecting government assets, government networks, and ensuring that we have strict security protocols to prevent data breaches and to prevent cyber attacks.
Prime Minister Mitchell went on to state that there must be cybersecurity awareness.
From our banking, our taxation system, our HR data, we can name it. If these are not protected robustly, the entire country, and certainly the entire government, can be brought to a grinding halt in a matter of seconds. We must educate our citizens and empower them to protect themselves against cyber attacks. The onus is on us all to be vigilant about sharing personal information online. This includes utilizing simple procedures that most of us may be guilty of ignoring at times, such as using strong passwords, two-factor authentication, and keeping our software and antivirus programs up to date.
On the occasion of World Health Day, a local medical practitioner highlighted the importance of health for all, which is the theme for this year's World Health Day, and the importance of access to primary health care, especially for those living in rural communities, so that their quality of life can be improved and they can attain the highest level of health and well-being.
April 7th, which fell on Good Friday this year, was recognized globally as World Health Day and also marked the founding of the World Health Organization, or the WHO, 75 years ago. According to Director General of the World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, it is an opportunity to look back at public health successes that have improved quality of life during the last 7 decades. It is also an opportunity to motivate action to tackle the health challenges of today. Local medical practitioner and public health specialist Dr. Francis Martin weighed in on this year's theme, Health for All.
Interestingly, Health for All was a declaration made in 1977 by the World Health Assembly. It was supposed to be the first step to achieving the Alma Ata Declaration in 1978, where primary health care was viewed as the best vehicle for providing care for health for all. It's great to see that this mantra is already coming around again, because right through the entire universe we are aware that primary health care is the best way for health to be given to all, which means that to achieve primary health care we must be prepared, and health care systems must be prepared to provide care where people are, closer to them, and where they work. It must be people-centered care, and it must focus on those that are more vulnerable.
However, in seeking to provide health for all, Martin says, there should also be a specific focus on encouraging men to be proactive where their health and well-being is concerned and accessing primary health care.
Saying that healthcare is accessible is not enough. Healthcare could be equitable, could be appropriate. Healthcare is available for male, but it's not the access is there because anyone could go, but it's not equitable in the sense that the male population is not being adequately addressed, and the issues of male care is not being adequately addressed. So just having a health center open and say you have access, that's not enough. It must be systems must be in place to make sure that these populations be able not only have it accessible, but in a way that they could reach men so that men can achieve those care, and not just men, but the extremes of ages, the elderly folks as well as very young folks in areas that are difficult to access care.
The first World Health Day was celebrated in 1950 on April 7th and was held to mark WHO's inception. Since then, the world has been observing the special occasion.
The Friends of the Mentally Ill facilitated a tea and garden party in St. David over the Easter weekend. And for this evening's Healthwise, we discuss the activity and the importance of continuing to focus on mental health and on assisting those who may be or continue to struggle with mental health issues.
My name is Anne Greaves. I'm one of the directors of Friends of the Mentally Ill. On Monday, 10th of April, we had our fundraising activity. It's our main fundraising activity at which is our annual tea at Sir Daniel and Lady Williams' residence. We've been putting this event on for many, many years. I have to say it was a very successful event, and very surprised given that we haven't been able to host anything for the last 3 years due to the pandemic. But persons who've donated we've been extremely surprised by the generosity of our donors, and we wish to express our heartfelt thanks to each and every one of them. For those who also came out to help us, we also want to express our heartfelt thanks. Well, we are advocates as well. Friends of the Mentally Ill are advocates as well, addressing issues relating to mental illness. So what we have been doing lately, we've been in a couple of programs highlighting some of the issues that's affecting this vulnerable group of persons here. Overcrowdedness in the Mungay Hospital is another issue. The lack of systems in place to address complex needs and generally meet the needs and help, support persons living with enduring mental health problems and their carers in the community. It's our view that persons can live very reasonable lives outside of the psychiatric unit. That's what we have, though. There is no community systems in place per se. That we have community psychiatric nurses, but we've got a long way to go. We need a lot more outreach services if we're going to really care about our brothers and sisters who are living with this illness. So yes, we are addressing that. We are also addressing the fact that mentally ill persons have been shot. You know, it's an intervention that is used by the police. Whilst we appreciate, we're not casting blames, but whilst we appreciate this is a very difficult area, and police going out can be very threatened by persons who are psychotic. We do, however, believe that this is an area that needs to be looked at, where a different method is used to subdue patients who are who are psychotic and in need of treatment.
That's the second segment of the news. Regional highlights when we return.
The second segment of MTV News was brought to you in association with the Communal Cooperative Credit Union Limited. To grow with us, save with us.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business.
For your education.
For your financial freedom.
For that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
Do you know, when you play the games of the National Lotteries Authority, you are supporting sports, culture, and nation building in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique?
Hi, I am Junior Murray, cricket coach, sports enthusiast, and a former West Indies cricketer. I endorse the games of the NLA 100%. For the past 40 years, the NLA has been funding many sporting activities, including competition for schools and clubs, and for athletes to participate in overseas tournaments such as the Carifta Games and regional cricket tournaments. Additionally, they made it possible for you, the public, to view local, regional, and international tournaments from the comfort of your homes. For those reasons, I play the game of the NLA. Even if I do not win, I know Grenada always wins.
Yes, when you play all the games, the NLA in turn supports sports, culture, and nation-building activities throughout the Tri-Island state.
At Bailey's Funeral Home, we understand the pain and grief you experience when you suffer the loss of a loved one. For years, we have helped thousands of families get through that difficult time by providing professional funeral services to meet their unique needs. Whether your choice is cremation or burial, call us or come into our new facility on the Carenage and meet with our arrangers in a spacious and comfortable environment. Choose from a wide variety of quality coffins and caskets at prices from as low as $1,900. At Bailey's Funeral Home, we believe that no one should feel overwhelmed or anxious about funeral expenses. So when it's time to plan a funeral, join a burial society, or make pre-arrangements when service and costs matter, call Bailey's Funeral Home at 440-2558 or visit us at baileysfuneralhome.org. Bailey's Funeral Home, still providing the perfect tribute any family can afford.
Happiness is when cooking isn't a chore. Bring happiness to your home. Get up to 30% off on selected items. Get it now, pay later. Whatever your happiness is, we can help. Court, bringing value home. Offer ends April 30th, 2023. Conditions apply.
The third segment of MTV News is brought to you in association with Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Transform your life with Ariza's suite of loan products. Own your own vehicle, education, land, or home, and anchor your roots. Start living the life you deserve by applying for an Own Your Own loan at reduced interest rates. Simplify your life and consolidate all your debts by applying for a Simplify loan and open doors to new beginnings and explore more opportunities to shape your future. Call or send us a WhatsApp on 423-4987 or email us at loans@arizacu.com today to continue your journey towards financial freedom. Terms and conditions apply. Ariza Credit Union, your financial freedom, your future.
Welcome back. This is where we join Clifton James for this evening's Regional Roundup.
Good evening with tonight's MTV Regional Roundup. I am Clifton James. Now in St. Vincent, the controversial issue of the death penalty came up during the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines face-to-face radio programme as he expressed concern about crime and whether certain offences require capital punishment. On Easter Monday, the island recorded a fatal shooting, the first killing by a firearm since February the 9th, 2023. Dr. Ralph Gonzalez is urging young men to restrain themselves, to end their fascination with guns for taking out their anger. Everyone has to have patience and calm, not because you get angry or lose yourself to restraint, you have to go for the gun. There has to be something that holds you back. Gonzalez said that something has to be instilled in the family, schools, churches, the community, mass media, the state, and with the appropriate legal framework. The Prime Minister said unfortunately both the Court of Appeal and the Privy Council decided practically that no one can be sent to the gallows anymore for murder. I have oscillated between the death penalty and no death penalty for a long time, now over the last dozen or so years, and I came to the conclusion that there are particular offences you need the death penalty for. He believes it should be for murder, but not those of passion. The Prime Minister said that distinction was made in the constitutional reform proposal which went to the people. However, the people rejected it. There were many proposals, but this was a critical one to write into the Constitution, what was not there before, so we could carry out the death penalty in particular cases. Guyana today announced that it has extended the deadline to submit bids for the licensing of oil blocks to July the 15th, 2023. The Ministry of Natural Resources explained the extension was given after receiving industry feedback coupled with the advanced pace of modernising the oil and gas regulatory framework. Bids for the 14 blocks, which were located in the shallow and deep water areas, began on December the 9th, 2022 and were set to end on April the 14th, 2023. In announcing the extension, the ministry said it continues to receive strong global interest and the government has benefited from insightful feedback during the consultation periods of the indicative terms and guidelines and the draft model production sharing agreements (PSAs). Concurrently, the government recognises that the new era of oil and gas development facilitated by this current and future rounds must be governed by a modern regulatory framework and has been thoroughly moving the finalisation of the model PSA as promised in this government's manifesto and the overhaul and strengthening of the 1986 Petroleum Exploration and Production Act. The ministry added the government recently reached an agreement with PGS Exploration UK Limited and CGG Data Services to repossess additional 2D seismic data relevant to the blocks for tender. This data will be shared with existing and prospective participants of the licensing round. Now in St. Lucia police have detained a French national as an investigation into the death of an American woman gets underway. On Friday, April the 7th, the woman and her 16-year-old daughter were engaged in a water sports activity along Red Duet Beach when a jet ski allegedly operated by the French national crashed into them. The woman was subsequently rushed to the Gros-Islet Polyclinic in critical condition but later died due to her injuries. Her daughter sustained minor injuries. Police then detained the French national who was allegedly operating the jet ski at the time of the crash. He was a passenger of a cruise ship visiting the island. A member of the St. Lucia Life Saving Association, Terrell Compton, says the latest tragedy has renewed the call for the demarcation of the Rodney Bay area. The idea is to have swimming designated zones, motorised designated zones for jet skis, water skis, along with parasailing areas to function and operate. According to Compton, there has always been at least 3 significant meetings with various stakeholders, including the deceased Bob Hathaway, who designed and proposed the concept, yet it has not come to fruition. He also recalled French authorities willing to assist in supporting and funding the project, yet still, after much discussion, nothing has happened in that regard, he observed. That was your look around the region. I am Clifton James.
This is the MTV Evening News. We'll be back with you after the break.
The third segment of MTV News was brought to you in association with Arise Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
Transform your life with Arise's suite of loan products. Own your own vehicle, education, land, or home, and anchor your roots. Start living the life you deserve by applying for an Own Your Own loan at reduced interest rates. Simplify your life and consolidate all your debts by applying for a Simplify loan and open doors to new beginnings and explore more opportunities to shape your future. Call or send us a WhatsApp on 423-4987 or email us at loans@arisecu.com today to continue your journey towards financial freedom. Terms and conditions apply. Arise Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
You're watching the MTV Evening News Wednesday. Sporting highlights are coming up.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
The NLA is giving you more chances to multiply your Playway winnings by adding Multi-X to your regular Playway bets to win up to 5 times more. Imagine winning as much as $1,200 instead of $240 with a $10 Playway bet by simply adding Multi-X. Place your Playway bets from $1 to $10 or in increments on your favorite Playway symbols or numbers. Then add the multi-X option at the same value to win 2 times, 3 times, 5 times more, or free plays. With multi-X, you must bet the same amount wagered on your regular playway bets for your winnings to be multiplied. Grenadians, value your dreams and win your way as much as 5 times more with multi-X added to playway and watch your money grow. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Boy, they gonna fly with kite now. The wind picking up.
I'm coming. Karim, what you doing?
Fly my kite.
Yeah, but not here. You can't fly kite near power lines, boy.
Why not? The wind good.
Because mommy say kite threads conduct electricity.
Yeah, kite. He's right. If your kite gets stuck in power lines, it can cause power outages, or even worse, it can get shocked.
Come, let's go and fly them in the pasture.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Grenlink, energizing our Grenada.
Happiness is when cooking isn't a chore. Bring happiness to your home. Get up to 30% off on selected items. Get it now, pay later. Whatever your happiness is, we can help. Court, bringing value home. Offer ends April 30th, 2023. Conditions apply.
Kelsey Mural Ross earns Indoor Regional Awards. That story and more coming up for you in our sporting segment.
The MTV Evening Sports is brought to you in association with Courts, bringing value home.
It's all about the glam with stylish new frames from Courts Optical. Shop today for up to 50% off and pay nothing for 30 days. Book now at www.courtsoptical.com. Get the look you want at the price you need. Plus, at Courts Optical, our eye exams are always free. So what are you waiting for? Come down and get glam. With up to 50% off selected frames. Courts Optical. Value you can see.
A special evening to you now, sporting fans. Here's Tonya St. Louis Lawrence with your highlights.
Good evening, sporting fans. Grenadian Kelsey Morel Ross, who attends Barton Community College, earned Indo Regional Awards together with Barton's Shinek Cougars and accumulates 28 All-American awards. The Barton Community College track and field program picked up a pair of post-season awards following the conclusion of the Indo season distributed by the U.S. Track and Field and Cross Country Coaches Association. Morel Ross, who was named the Women's Field Athlete of the Year, was also named the Female Track Athlete of the Region 6 meet after securing 16 points in 2 events. Morel Ross also had the NJCA's 4th best weight throw during the season, but fell short of that mark at the region meet. In addition to Shinek and Morel Ross's Central Region honors, assistant coach Emmanuel Dixon was also named the Region 6 Championship Women's Assistant Coach of the Year in helping the Cougars to a nation's number 2 ranking into the national championship meet. The Grenada Athletic Commission is a separate body that makes sure the Grenada Olympic Committee function as it should, making sure athletes' rights, athletes' development, and the performance of the athletes are ahead also. Speaking about the Commission on the Rise and Shine program was Vice President of the Grenada Olympic Committee, Ralph Lord.
Athletes Commission would function as a separate entity unto itself, inasmuch as we are responsible for ensuring its start. It is not to be dictated to by any national federation, by the NOC, by any director, by anyone. It would be functioning as an entity unto itself. It would have its own administrative arm selected by the various athletes. It would have a seat in the council of the National Olympic Committee and also have a seat on the board of directors through its leadership. From the onset of a new administration and new elections and so that you get the Athletes Commission formed. However, the GOC in itself has had its ups and downs, resignation of this person, resignation of that person. And with our new president, Mr. Bernard Wilson, it is part and parcel of his mandate to ensure that the GOC in itself functions in the manner that it is supposed to. And the Athletes Commission is, the establishment of the Athletes Commission is ensuring that we are properly organized.
A captain's knock from Anisha Thomas led Grenada to victory over Dominica by 4 wickets in our second match of the Windward Islands Senior Women's Tournament. Grenada made 197 for 6 in 27.5 overs, while Dominica made 196 all out in 37.3 overs. The ladies played their final Super 50 match on Wednesday. The long-awaited 2021 Grenada Football Association Conference League playoffs have been postponed by 1 week. This decision was made with the approval of the Executive Committee of the Grenada Football Association following a meeting with the clubs involved in the conference playoff held via Zoom on Tuesday, 11th April 2023. On March 19, the clubs were informed of a resolution to a long-standing impasse in the Central Conference, which allowed for the completion of the 2 final matches and the start of the playoffs thereafter. During Tuesday's meeting, several club representatives expressed that their teams were not ready for the next stage of the competition and therefore needed some extra time for preparation. After carefully weighing several options and in an attempt to ensure that the best interest of all parties have been considered, the FA has decided to begin the playoffs on April 18th. The GFA would like to thank all football stakeholders and fans for their patience and support during this long journey. And that's it for your sporting highlights. I am Tonya St. Louis Lawrence.
Thank you, Tonya, for the latest sporting highlights there. And viewers, we'll have the public forecast information, then a recap of the main stories when we return.
The MTV Evening Sports was brought to you in association with Courts, bringing value home.
MTV Weather Report comes to you in association with Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Our future is promising. We are strong. Together, we are Grenada.
Good Wednesday evening, viewers, and back with the nighttime weather forecast and meteorologist Wayne Williams. Sunny and windy conditions continue throughout Eastern Caribbean today. A bit of low-level, shallow clouds over some of the central islands brought very, very brief sprinkles in the early morning, but those dissipated into from mid-morning into afternoon. 2 features that we are keeping our eyes on. It is that dense haze in the Atlantic, not really showing which direction it will definitively travel as yet, but with this surface trough coming off the North American coast, it could keep it at a lower latitude, so it could begin to affect us maybe in about the next 3 or 4 days. We're just going to have a very slight haze in the meantime. Right now, no major features as the dry season continues. That small band of shallow low-level clouds here could bring 1 or 2 brief sprinkles tonight, but don't expect anything major. The forecast for Wednesday night is still for clear, cool and windy conditions with easterly winds between 10 and 22 miles per hour, possibility of some higher gusts. Minimum temperature around 23. We just have a slight increase in the possibility of showers, between 20 and 30% of that happening. The moon, it is going to rise 40 minutes past midnight. That's 20 minutes to 1. That's later on. And it's going to set 18 minutes past noon on Thursday. Mostly sunny and windy conditions would continue on Thursday. The winds would remain in that easterly quadrant between 12 and 25 miles per hour. We're going to see winds slackening off a bit from Thursday into Friday and the weekend. Choppy seas, 5 to 7 foot waves. Sunrise 5:56, sunset 6:18. 32 will feel like 34 on Thursday. Mostly sunny conditions in Port of Spain, Bridgetown, Kingston and London. It's going to be obviously a lot cooler in London. Some thunderstorms for Miami, where it's going to be a bit warm, sunny and hot in New York. Here at home, mostly sunny conditions would continue. Temperatures remaining stable, of course, around 32 by Monday, maybe the latter part of the weekend. Monday, we could see that haze returning a bit stronger. So that is the main feature we're going to look out for. Winds, as I said, will begin to drop off again into the weekend and maybe the latter part of the weekend also. That's it for me for Wednesday night, folks. Have yourself a great night. Join me again on Thursday.
MTV Weather Report was brought to you in association with Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
And now to end the news, a recap of the headlines. A St. George's resident has been charged with attempted arson. Several unanswered questions in relation to the funding from the European Union or EU for several restoration projects, including the restoration of the landmark Roman Catholic Church in Grenville, St. Andrew. A two-day capacity development forum for CARIFORUM member states on cybercrime has been ongoing in Grenada. And in sport, Kelsey Muriel Ross has earned indoor regional awards. We've had details to those and other stories for this Wednesday evening. Just before we go, a reminder that you can join us on Thursday for another edition of Rise and Shine. The discussion will be about St. George's University's inaugural Education Summit. Remember, that'll be on Rise and Shine tomorrow morning right here on MTV. All for now, on behalf of the news and production departments, I'm Tony Julian. We all thank you for viewing and wish you a good night.